It's time to test your Truck Series knowledge with the Aaron's Lucky Guess trivia question. Who is the youngest winner in the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series history, and how old was he when he won? That is the question. We will fire that answer at you in just a moment.
Hey, I got some Aaron's love. Anybody out there, you guys want some free gas?
Yes, I do.
Yeah. Go to Aaron's and make any qualified purchase or lease between now and October 31st, and you will receive $600 in free gas from the company of your choice. If it has gas there, you can get it.
You're talking about Charlotte.
You're talking about the Southeast,
yeah,
obviously.
The Southeast has struggled a little bit with the fuel.
You go to shopaarons.com for more details, but Aaron's is all in. We're giving away free gas, darn it.
That was easy. Why didn't they give you a phone number? Because that's what I normally struggle with.
Well, I like this shopaarons.com.
We're going to stick to the internet, right? Not the phone.
We will we'll let you think about that. Youngest driver to ever win in the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series, and how old was he?
That's an interesting question. How long ago they put the 18-year-old rule in?
Well, actually, we're riding along with a kid who was involved in the Truck Series prior to that rule.
Him being 18.
Exactly.
Did he win then?
Well, you're going to have to think about that.
He did not. He was actually in California for a race when they changed that rule and took him out of that truck and was not even able to start that race. He'd already practiced for because he was not yet 18 years old.
Ray Dunlap, what's happening with that Northern Tool and Equipment Ford?
Well, Rick, I just wanted to clarify a little bit on that last round of pit stops. I said that the Roush trucks that took 4 tires were good to go. What I meant by that was not that they've got enough fuel to make it to the end, but that allows them a lot of options. When they come in for their final pit stop, that makes Matt Puccia in position to either take 2 tires, no tires. They obviously don't need to take 4, and a lot of these other guys have taken right side tires only on this round of pit stops. So that's what he was saying when he said we'll be good to go. Not that they're not going to have to pit again, but that they'll have options.
Well, you got to just get enough gas to get to the finish, and no tires. I don't want any tires. I'm thinking I want that track position. Just shoot me enough gas in to get to the finish and leave my tires alone.
Yeah, most of these guys started pitting on lap number 50, and then the majority of the guys had pitted between 50 and 53. We saw the 15 of John Andretti push it all the way to lap 57. Actually ran out of fuel. He is still on the lead lap now, but 34 seconds behind, almost 35 seconds behind. So I think we know that everyone is going to have to stop, with a possible exception of John Andretti. It's not going to do him any good if he's out there running by himself and he gets lapped by this field, but he may be able to make the rest of the way. But I'm like you, Mikey. If I need 2 seconds of fuel, that's all I want. Don't worry about my tires.
Hey, guys, let's talk a little bit about this outside line. It's starting to move now.
Well, and then you know who's heading it up. One of those Fords that qualified right up front. We talked about how important it was to have a fast truck. The draft would be the equalizer. But if you put him out there and you get behind one of those fast trucks with the draft, he's going to pull you along a little bit faster than the guys on the inside, I believe.
Did you see that? He dropped back to the 23rd position, and now he's got the lead back.
Here was that question we posed earlier. What do you do when you get past the inside line? Do you hang the guys out that are behind you? And that's exactly what Colin Brown just did. He moved to the inside line, and he's hung out the guys in the second line.
Self-preservation. He don't need those people. You know, you want to work with guys that you think you're going to need all day. Oh,
Brown's right there. Jack Sprague into the wall hard.
Looked like he got run into from behind. Made pretty hard contact with the outside wall.
He's already having a bad day. He was 2 laps off the pace.
You can see the right front tire not even, just barely moving occasionally. A lot of damage to that American Commercial Lines Chevrolet.
But, you know, going back to that, the Colin Brown takes the lead. He had Chad McCumbee pushing him. He's had one of the fastest trucks all day long. He can say, see you later, Chad. Thanks for the push, but I don't need you anymore. I've got a fast truck. I can win this race without you. You saw Johnny Benson and Todd Bodine trying to continue to work together, hanging on that outside together, trying to get there. They need each other.
Jack Sprague, look at the smoke inside the cab of that truck. That's got to be hard to see right now.
We saw a little bit of fire there under that truck.
Let's take another moment ago. Let's look again at what happened here with Jack Sprague.
See Jack right there. There's a 51 of Kyle Busch. Look for a little contact. Kyle moves to the inside. Jack comes down actually on Kyle and it swings him out towards the outside wall.
That was strange looking, wasn't it?
Yeah, I wouldn't put anything on Kyle Busch for that.
No. And I don't know what happened with Jack. It looked like maybe he went to go low and noticed there was another truck there and
turned back on his own.
Turned back on his own a little bit, maybe made contact at exactly that same time, and it just shot him to the outside. Is that what happens, Phil?
There's another view. You see him turning. It looks like exactly right. Once he realized that the 51 of Kyle was there, it's almost like he turned that wheel just to the right to pull away from him, and they had made slight contact right then and just sent him hard right.
Shot him up the racetrack. Here comes the field once again onto pit road. Krista.
Matt Craftsman coming in. He was so close to the win in our last race in Las Vegas. He was running up front again. They last pitted on lap 51 by themselves. They took left sides then. They'll take right sides now. And there goes Matt Craftsman. Adam.
Fuel only for Todd Bodine. They said get 6 seconds worth, a little tape on the nose, and Bodine is away. Ray Dunlap.
It'll be the same thing for Colin Brown and for Eric Darnell. Both of the Roush trucks getting 5 seconds worth of fuel. Brown will be the first one off pit road, and he's got the 16 right with him. What a run for Brian Scott.
The rest of the field coming off of pit road. Now, we saw Eric Darnell not coming off of pit road in the lead, so we're going to see if those Roush trucks can make their way back up to the front, because Eric Darnell has been dominant, really, until they made the green flag pit stops.
Well, his partner Colin Brown had been equally as dominant, riding along right behind him, and he proved how strong he was. He just drove around the outside and got the lead.
Here's why we're under caution. Kyle Busch moves to the inside. Jack Sprague doesn't see him, shoots right up the racetrack and hard into the wall right before the trioval. We'll be back with more from Talladega after this.
You know, I've been using Craftsman tools for nearly 20 years now, and what continues to amaze me is they just keep making them better and better. Like this new Vibra-Free 12-amp reciprocating saw. Now, this saw has 4 different settings on it, from 0 over to 3. Now, at 0, that means there's no orbiting action of the saw blade. But when you come over here to number 3, it gives you a really, really strong cut. Now, in the olden days, your saw would have shook around so much and vibrated, and you lose all of your energy because it's not going right into the wood. But with this saw, it's 56% less vibration. Doesn't get much better than a Craftsman reciprocating saw.
Who was the youngest winner in NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series history, and how old was he? Michael, you want to try?
I'm going to say Kyle Busch, even though he was more than 18 though, right?
Yeah, you're right on it. You want to tell me how old he was, Phil?
He was 20 years old, a little bit over 20 years old.
Just a couple days over.
18 days.
And actually, you'll know this one. Whose record did he break for the youngest driver to win a race? It was Kansas.
Ricky Hendrick.
That's exactly right.
And then, isn't there like 4 guys that could break that record today?
There are 4 guys. Hey, take a look at this. Mike Skinner on pit road. Looks like they're doing some work to the right front of this truck.
Where'd that damage come from?
A little bit of damage to the right front for Mike Skinner, and so he's on pit road. They're making some adjustments and corrections to that truck, Krista.
Yeah, and as we understand down here on pit road, Landon Castle was involved in that. As Landon Castle exited pit road, made contact with the 5. You're seeing a tire in his pit stop where you can see the tire rub there. They had come back in. They didn't want to take a chance on the damage, so they came back in, put 4 fresh tires on it. Landon Castle, though, the 81 contact with the 5.
There you have it, the 81 and the 5 making some contact. Our Aaron's Lucky Dog goes to David Starr with that new sponsor on the hood for him and the rest of the season. We'll be right back for the green flag.